Hey everybody, welcome back to the 67 Volkswagen Beetle. I am OkFixer, and in the midst of my daily grind, I've been able to do a few little odds and ends during the week, and I did get this package. This package here, I'll show you what it is in a little bit. This is for 6 weeks. This is 6 weeks I've been waiting to get these. Crazy. Gotta find them first, you know. So, first thing I did is I put on our mirror, and I find it quite comical that the mirror does not move with the door. I think that's kind of interesting there. So there you go. There's our mirror that we rehabbed right there, and works fine. I did have to knock down the paint on the where it mounts there. I had some paint on there, and I kind of got a little oil on it and put everything together. There's a ferrule in there. You got to make sure and get that jammed in there and then tighten it up, and it tightens with a 16 millimeter nut. How about that? 16. Let's see, what else have we done? We now have wipers. Aren't those beautiful? Those are beautiful. Way back in Nam, I had ordered these. Rock Auto had them on sale for $1. $1 a piece. Original arms, and I did tighten up my washers there. I didn't have them tight before. But they... Let's see here. I got a key in here? Yes, sir. But they work. That's slow and slower. Actually, it's pretty fast, actually. Okay, did that. And then also, what else did I do? I put up my rearview mirror. This come from a guy down in Texas. Of course, Abner had sold it on eBay. I probably do not have the right screws in it, but I don't care. It works good. It's a little pitted, but it's a beautiful piece. Beautiful piece. These come from Wolfsburg West 67, and they're different. And it took a little figuring to figure them out. So the one that's oddly shaped goes on the passenger side, and the one that's not oddly shaped goes on the driver's side. And then I had problems with these because there's two different holders that you could have, and I called Wolfsburg West, and the millennial on the phone smugly told me that didn't you read? Yeah, so I have those. And the ones I put on there say this, so 65 to 67 bug, and that's the ones, that's for the early, because this is I found out this is a November 66 car, and these are the ones that say 67 only. Well, since this is a 67, that's what I ordered, 67 only, but they do not fit. Anybody need these? So yeah, don't have any use for them anymore, so I got those in. That's fine. Then, let's see here, what else did I do? I did this. Ta-da, ta-da. And I think, nope. Probably have it backwards, but I don't care. Now, this is an aftermarket light, and it took a great deal of massaging to get it in there. I had to, first thing, it didn't work, so I had to bend the connectors. Yeah. And then, so they would touch when you did this, so they would touch. And then I had to bend this connector all the way in so I could get the bulb in there. And then when I tried to put it in here, the little where it hooks into the metal was too far down. You'd never be able to get that up there. So I'd straighten everything up, and about 1/8 of an inch up, I put another little hitch in it, and it works. Okay. Underneath it, you're noticing, what the hell have you got in there? Yeah, they're not for this car. but they're in this car now. There was no provision for these, but Brother Brian sent them to me, and I think they look slick. So I put them in, and I ended up having to drill a couple holes. Yeah, sacrilege. What are you going to do? I also started my, and I run out of, yeah. So I've got some more ordered, should be coming, hopefully, one of these days. So, that's what I've been doing. I don't know what kind of pull straps go there, but the holes were here and here instead of here and here, and they weren't like this. They were like this, and they were, I don't know. I didn't have this car part. I don't know, but they work. So there you go. Okay. Ooh, satisfying clunk. Okay, what's in the box? Sorry about the giant mess on the cart. Last night it got down to 25 degrees, and I didn't drain my plastic on my outside for some reason. I didn't think it was going to get that cold, and it hasn't been, and it's just odd that it did, and split it open. And then I had another problem with my van, and I had an oil cooling line start leaking. So I had to get another line, or a couple of lines, and when I took the lines out, of course, all the threads come out on the oil filter boss, so I've got to work on that too. So it's always something. So let's see what kind of shape it's going to be. Let's see here. Ah! No, she just what have we got? Oh, it's stuck. It's taped to the other side. Now, that let me show you what this is. Took me a while to figure this out. No one would answer me. I guess I should quit being such an ass, huh? On YouTube. Okay. Yeah, it's like, okay, buddy, figure it out yourself, huh? How about that? That goes right there. And that goes. Let's see here. Right there. Yes, sir. That's where she goes. I'll be dinged. Look at that. That's what that's for, all right. That's what that's for. Goes in that hole right there. Oops, sorry. Goes in that hole right there. Great. Trying to get one of those for a while. Hard to find one though. Never knew it had one because I never took the old one off. Abner did though. And, oh, look at that, it's black too. It's black, it's a black knob. That's great. That's great. I was thinking it would be a white knob. It's not, it's for a real 67. Ooh, ooh. Okay, got those. And now I have these also. Look at Abner had taken these out of the car as well. Can you imagine? What kind of goofball would take these out of the car? You know where these go, don't you? They're the little rubber flappers that go in the back. That one's going to need a little massaging. Yes. And they're not too bad either. They looks like the little screw deals are in pretty good shape. Probably can make those work. Look at that. Now my heat flappers will work. Now all I got to do is get some brake line and flare it out and put it down on the floor, figure this whole mess out. So we'll be doing that, and we'll be doing a hood pop also. Yay! And since I'm doing the hood pop, I can do my gaskets as well. Great. Well, I got my latch out and I got to looking at it, how beat up it is. And it doesn't, like when you return it, you have to have it pulled just slightly. And if you return it all the way, this goes away. Essentially, it's all wore out in there. And you can see kind of how whopped out it is. It does hook if you push this in and pull it back. It will hook. But the moment you release it like this, and then if you release it all the way, and then if you try to push it in there, it won't. And this doesn't have a double latch like the newer ones. You know, you pop it and then you've got a handle to open it. This has one, and once it's popped, you know, the hood can fly up. So this has to work 100%. I certainly don't want the hood flying up on me. So I've ordered another one on the Samba, and 67 only. What are you going to do? And I just hope I don't have to wait 6 weeks for it. This looks like it's in pretty good shape still, albeit it needs to be cleaned up. I really can't put this in unless I have the latch, because I have to position it in such a way. I ground the welds off of it and kind of sanded it a little bit, and I'm going to go out and shoot a little paint on it. And I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to urethane this in place. Yes, Brian, I'm going to have to urethane it in place. Well, the deal is, if I strike up the welder and start welding, I'm going to burn my paint. So, you know, what else am I going to do, you know? I've got a hole really close, one of those little ground holes that I showed you, one of those little microscopic ground holes. And I think I could probably put some sort of clamp around that, maybe with like a little rubber grommet, one of those little rubber grommet clamps, and run a screw in it for some, and others I'll have to just urethane, because I've got no other choice really. I was in the junkyard today, and I scored a battery tray, a little plastic battery tray. This is out of a Mitsubishi SUV Montero. It does have these little deals here. I'll just shave those off. I can set my battery on it, and it won't wear right on the floor as bad. The battery will wear on this, I'm hoping. I don't know. It just seems like setting a battery right on that metal floor. I don't know. Not such a great idea. So I did put the little flappers in, and let me show you those. If I can get some light in there to show you. They just clipped right in place, really easy. Very nice, simple little whoop, whoop. Very easy. Work very easily. So I have those in place now. I'm going to go get some brake line, because my lines are gone. They're rotted. And I'm going to flare this out, the brake line, and then I'm going to run a piece of brake line down here up to this, and then do the little connection and kind of give it a little bend. And that should add for the protection that this little cable needs, because originally I had a line going out there, but both of mine were rotted completely, so I can't use those. So I'll get some brake line and do that to it. In the meantime, I'm going to go paint that piece right now. This is an intermission and a public service announcement. I'm sure you have a house with one, or if you're lucky you have 2 outlets, water outlets. My house has 4 because I've run plastic. I still have to put these clamps on, that's why that's loose. It's plastic. In Oklahoma we don't get very many freezes, however it got down to 25 last night and split this. I turned the water off, but I didn't drain these, and there's water in them, and it split it, broke my valve, blah 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 blah. Okay, so I had to glue it all back together again. So, you know, I had some parts and stuff and some valves and whatnot like that, and I got it all together, but my glue, let me show you. And I've come up with a solution for this, and I want to show you. So, of course, the purple, the primer, is always good, because what you do is you brush it on with the brush and the cap. Yeah, and then you put the brush back in there, and then you're done. Then you use this stuff. But with this stuff, as you can see, it's all rock hard, or not hard, but it's done. Okay, and what you do is you dunk this in there, and then you wipe it on the part that you've just put purple on. So you contaminate this with that purple. Dunk it back in there. Now you got your purple in your... This is done if you don't use it all the time. So, in order to stop that from happening, in order for you to stop contaminating, don't use the brush and the can. They want you to use the brush and the can for this stuff, because they will sell you another can in a month, because this will be hard. So get yourself a little plastic, you know, from a paint can, or a paint aerosol can, and a separate dauber, and just pour a little bit in there. And even if it's more than you'll use, you'll still have this can left. And then when this is off, when this cap is off, take your brush on your cap and just run it around the edge, just very gently, not a lot, and then tighten both of these up. And put them directly in the sun? No. Put them in the freezing cold? No. Put them under your sink, because in your house it's always like between 65 and 80, somewhere in that neighborhood. Okay, and this stuff, when you go to use it again, it will be good. You're welcome. Back to the bug. Mm-hmm. when I took these wheels off the first time to paint them, and I'm going to take them off again to change the tires because I got new rims and I have the other rims painted. When I took this rim off, it was all greasy, all oily on the bottom on this side. So let's find out what I did wrong. I think I know what I did wrong. Do you? I already loosened this. Uh-oh, better get something to catch that. That's better. I pulled this off there, and there's this shim here, and then the seal, and that goes right there. But the seal is supposed to fit in here, like such, and you can see how cooked it is. I just don't understand that quite. I'll have to get online and have a look here. Get on YouTube and see how that all goes together. I thought I had it right, maybe I don't. So let me go study that and I'll come back. Oh, and the reason why I'm saying go to YouTube is because for once this book doesn't tell you what's what, I guess. Where's the gasket? There's two of them in that package. I see this O-ring, which is 10. Where's the other O-ring? Where's the round little, yeah, the little washer, 4. That's an oil seal. 12. Outer spacer, 3. Doesn't even show the inner spacer. Oh, there it is. But that's on the other side. That's on the other bearing. See, it doesn't show you what you need to know. Okay, I think I know how this thing goes back together now. I'm not going to bore you with taking off this gasket, but I took off my old gasket and I cleaned this up. Now, since there wasn't anything wrong with the seal here, because I had already put a new seal in there, I'm going to negate that process. Open up our bag of goodies here. In this bag there are 2 gaskets, and so I think one went on the other side of the backing plate. So we're going to put this one. You want to make sure you can take that little hole out of there because that's your drain hole. Essentially this thing leaks but that drain hole controls the leak, if that makes sense to you. Okay. There's your gasket, right there. The drain hole is lined up. Now we have this O-ring, which is the big O-ring. We're going to put a little 90 weight on there. And we're going to slip it right over that bearing just like this. Yep. It's important not to get that pinch, so make sure that's in there good. And that's going to fit right in this little lip here. It's going to seal right into that little lip. Then we have two spacers. We have a big one and a little one. Now the big one goes in here, and I'm not going to replace that because taking that seal out of there. There's our new seal. I'm not going to replace that. The first one goes down is this little spacer, just like this. And I'm going to get it wet also with a little 90 weight. And I'm going to put that on there first. Didn't want to go on. Yeah, just kind of got to work that on there. Like that. Now let's clean that off. There's any dirt on it. Here's our O-ring, and it's not really an O-ring, it's kind of square. Take that and work that on. Like that. Without rolling it. Just like that. Then we're going to take our spacer, and our spacer fits right there. Let's clean that off a little bit. That fits right there. Now, this should go right over the top of that whole mess. Let's put a little on. Let's see, there you go. Just like that. Then, take it back off and make sure you're not pinched. What was that all about? Oh, our spacer went inside there. You see that? Let's just do that. We can put our spacer inside there, and our O-ring is still there, so it's good. Make sure this hole is down. Like that. I might have boogered up the other side too, who knows. I need to have another look at it. I was really guessing and by gosh in there when I was putting it together. I remember that. And I have greasy fingerprints on my Bentley magazine, or Bentley manual. That's telling me that I was studying it pretty hard. And if I have greasy fingerprints on it, I was probably frustrated opening up that manual with greasy hands. We're going to go across. in the oil. Now I need to do is I need to figure out what the torque is on those. I don't know yet. And I'll torque them down, and then get some brake clean. I need to clean that up. And I won't bore you with putting the tire on and stuff, but that's how those go together. Hopefully that'll work now. Okay, I did find this under brakes, and I am concurring. There is the gasket, and then the seal goes over the top. It shows no gasket on the back of the backing plate, so why they have two gaskets in there I don't know. And then the spacer, and then the seal, or the washer, the O-ring, and then the spacer. So that's correct, and it's under brakes, incidentally. So we're good there. In the back there, it says these 4 bolts have to be torqued to 43 foot-pounds. So we're at 43, and we're going to kind of do it crossways. Seems like that's a lot, but who am I? Okay, now I'm going to get a little brake clean and clean that up. Make sure you clean your drum because it's going to be contaminated too. I didn't drive this, so it didn't contaminate my shoes, so I think I'll be okay. And when you jack your car up, make sure you use the jack stand. Alright, I'm going to get this back together. We'll go down and get some tires put on this. Here are my 4 tires and my 4 painted rims that I have. I just gave them a quickie. Didn't spend a lot of time on them because I know what tire guys do to rims, and I know what the road does to rims and stuff. Brother Brian has the money to powder coat. Alas, I have only the money to Krylon. So there you go. I've got my wheel adapter so that he can balance these, and I've got my 5 lug nuts to bolt each wheel down. He's going to take these tires off and put them on these 4 rims, and then find the best rim that's not all bent. All of them are bent though, but the best rim will be for my spare, and he's going to put a new tire on my spare. These 4 tires right here are 2017s. The mark on them, they're made in 2017. My new spare will be 2019. He can't match the tire that's on there. He doesn't sell those. Incidentally, the guy I'm taking my tires to, let me tell you a little story. It's called Then and Now. And then it was the guy comes into an auto shop, and he asked what was wrong with my car. And the mechanic says your Thelmain wire was corroded, so I replaced it. That'll be 10 cents, please. And now it's your Thelmain wire was corroded, so I had to replace the engine, and that was $4,000, please. This guy that I'm going to take this to will clean or replace your Thelmain wire. He will not sell you something that you don't. And I will show you his name and his business. It's a little hole-in-the-wall place, doesn't look like much, but it's a great place because he's honest, his prices are reasonable, he stands behind the stuff, and more importantly, he won't rip you off. So let's go to Dave. Okay, there they are. I've dropped them off, and this is the place. So if you're ever in Oklahoma City, this is the place that won't rip you off. Alignments, tires, front end work and stuff like that. This guy here will do you straight. He won't sell you something that you don't need. 36th Street, Northeast, Oklahoma City, Dave's Tire Center. Doesn't look like much, but he's a good guy, and he does quality work, and he won't rip you off. Well, I will end this segment with this I got in the mail. It's a beautiful piece, and it even comes with a set screw, and when you position it in place and tighten that up on there just as it should be, the latch pops right in place and holds it very nicely. It's not all beat up, so it's a very nice latch that I got. So I'm happy to get that. And then I got these, and I got this. So I need to do a battery isolate, and we're going to put that on one of those kick panels, and then that way I can cut my battery off, and no one can get up underneath there. I've made them out of wood, so you can't get up underneath there and pull them out, and then put a jumper cable up there or whatever like that, and start the car and take it. So it'll be a little bit more difficult. And then of course this piece will be locked. So I'm trying to do everything I can to save this from the thieves. So I got tons of parts yesterday. I got the rest of my insulation. I got my carpet kit. I got speaker enclosures. I got speakers, electrical parts for that I need there, and just came back from Dave's, and I got my tires mounted on my rims that I painted. That's close to correct for a 67. Black outside. I have to clean the overspray off that tire, I know. Black outside and white interior, and it's not the right colors, but it's close. And then to have the 67 look, you have the 66 or 67 hubcap, which is a special hubcap that's all dull. And I need to clean them all up. I just put it on there to let you look at it. In case you don't know, they make a nifty little toolkit like this. Brother Brian sent me one. And in this little toolkit is this little widget. And it goes in these holes like so. And then you either pull this with your fingers, probably, or if it won't come off, you can put this in this way and pry your hubcap off. So lots to do. Got these all mounted and balanced. Ironically, all the weights are on the inside. There's my old rims. I was going to go a step up size wider, but when you turn the front wheels, it will rub. And when you go a size wider, you can't get it in the wheel well. You can't get it in the well. So I got a new tire mounted on the. One of those rims wasn't too bad of the four that I had. So the one that was the best, I had him put it for my spare tire. And so there we are with that. Lots more to do, but that work, that job, it keeps getting in my way. I go out to work on this, and I'll get a call and have to go put some glass in or do something, So it's always getting in your way. But I think those are going to look really nice. I do have new running boards for this, but getting in and out and in and out and in and out of the car, I feel I'm going to tear it up. So, tear up those running boards. So it's probably one of the last things I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to get this one on the internet for Saturday morning. And thank you for being in my garage again, and thank you for tolerating me and continually putting the Volkswagen on there. But I've gotten to almost a fascination with this car to get it done, So it's coming along. It's been so long, over a year. So we've been working on it a little bit. So anyways, thank you for being in my garage. Thank you for watching and subscribing. Enjoy your Fruit Loops with us tomorrow morning, and we'll see you on the next video. All right, bye.